Hello, everybody. I am yet again Price McKinney, simply put. And as always, I want to thank you for tuning in and listening. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, simply put by Price McKinney. Uh, simply put podcast with Price McKinney. YouTube on Tuesdays. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, watch a video. So, uh, this one is kind of fun for me personally because it covers whether you're single, looking, or already in a relationship. And that is the title of this one is You Will Know, and you will. So, a lot of people get with people, and in the beginning, especially, you have questions, you're trying to figure out, if this is my person, do I like them? Where's it gonna go? What is this leading to? We're just gonna be casual friends, or we're gonna wind up dating, or we're gonna ultimately be married. All of these legitimate questions, right? Sometimes you hit this pocket where you just you're trying to figure it out. You don't really have answers, and the person that you're asking the questions to, they don't give you direct answers. So you just kind of left in limbo. Nothing is straightforward. Nothing is direct. Well, do you like me? Yeah, you're cool. Um, so where are we within the relationship? We all right. We're friends. That is that is. I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking, but saying we're friends, that's typically a response that keeps that person covered from actually having to deal with what they actually feel instead of just telling you the truth. That well, you're cool. We're friends. We all right. We're not in no rush. We don't have to put a label on it, and technically you don't. But here's what happens: that person is left trying to figure it out. That person is left trying to fill in the blanks, trying to answer the questions, trying to make this relationship, wherever it is, what phase it's in, what stage it's in, trying to make it make sense, right? All because you just won't answer the question. So the question becomes how will or how do you know if this is my person or if this is actually going anywhere? Two simple things. I know I got up four fingers. That's just because I'm using my right and left hand. Two simple things: time and effort, right? Everything that person does to you, with you, and for you is going to be very intentional. For example, my job right now, okay, I'm just using me as an example. So it eliminates any riff. We're working 550 million grillion hours a day right now, plus sometimes on the weekends, right? Now, granted, I'm not dating, but if I have a person, okay, it doesn't matter how many hours I'm working, it doesn't matter how much time I don't have. I'm not going to quote unquote squeeze that person into my time or into my schedule. No, I am going to purposely carve out some room, carve out some time, and be very intentional about, hey, this is when we can meet up. This is what we're going to do. So, what do you mean by that, sir? Well, that person will make the sacrifices necessary to get with you if they actually do want to be with you. Now, I'm not saying if none of that is being done that you're not it. I'm not saying that at all. But here's the deal, okay? And I'm just being honest. Either you're not it or they're not ready. There's no dash in between that. Either you're not that person or they're just not ready. Now, in some cases, depending on the time frame, depending on how well you know the person, that can be figured out. But up to that point, if you're still in the learning phase, still trying to get to know each other, um, time will tell. Time will tell, because if that person is like seriously interested in you and who you are as a person, not everything that you have, not there's a whole, and I'm not gonna get into that, but there's a whole list of questions and uh, requirements, accolades, materials, all of this stuff, and I get it. Teach his own. But at the end of the day, one of the things you seldom ever hear anybody say is, I want to make sure that I am being treated respectfully and kindly and politely. I understand, you may want, your expectation may be for this person to have this income, for them to be on the job this long, for the house to be this many square feet, or for him to drive this kind of car, or for her to have this kind of pocketbook. All that's fine, dandy, and wonderful. But materials do not make the man. The man makes the materials. That goes male and female, right? It's about the person, the individual. Get to know the person and who they are, not what they have. Because stuff comes and goes. I wasn't going into this, but stuff comes and goes. I'm a witness to that. But who I am as a person, that is what it is. And as long as I'm growing, developing, getting better, becoming better, who I was then is not who I am now, then I'm on the right track. So, excuse me, get to know the person for who they are, right? Not all of the material stuff, because you can get that, you can acquire that as you go along, and hopefully you don't lose it. But in some cases, that life's, and that happens. You know what I mean? So if you are that person's person, they're going to be very intentional. They're going to be very deliberate. They're not going to be. You're not going to have to wonder. Does he like me? Does he want to take me out? Does he want to spend time with me? How often, for example, let me throw this in, and I'm not even going to charge you for this. I should, but I'm not going to. How often does he or she text you during the course of a day? How often during the course of a day and or week do they call you? How much time do you all spend communicating? Right? Because you can't know anybody if you don't talk to them. I've, I, I'm not going this route, but I'm gonna say it this way: if you if you with somebody or you're interested in somebody and you seldom ever hear from them, whether, especially if you're the initiator, and you seldom get a response back, or it's always time delayed and it comes with a whole bunch of excuses. Well, I had to do this, I had to do that. I had you listen, this, this ain't rocket science, okay? The person that really likes you, that's really for you, they're going to be intentional, as I've said before, about spending time with you. The sacrifice will be made on that person's end to make sure that you know where they actually stand. So if you are not a priority to the person that you're interested in, and that's not being done, again, please understand this and don't take it personal. Either you're not their person or they're just not ready to be in a relationship. They've got to work, and if they're working on themselves, let them work on themselves. Don't, because you can't rush people and make people turn into what you want them to become. It's not going to happen. I don't care how much you like them. I don't care how much you love them. I don't care how much you want to be boot up, boot up. I get all of that. Trust me, I get it. However, time and effort is going to tell you everything you need to know. Are they making any sacrifices? And it doesn't even have to be major. But if they want you a part of their life, if they want to be involved with you, it's going to be intentional. You ain't going to have to figure it out. Everything they do is going to let you know that. Or please understand this, everything they don't do is going to let you know that. So again, you will know one way or the other. Time, effort, attention, intentional, on purpose, deliberate. You will know. So again, I'm Price McKinney. Simply put, I want to thank you for listening. I'm not an expert. I just know what I know. And I promise you, I'll see you soon.